This podcast is intended for mature audiences only. We explore topics surrounding sexuality, intimate relationships, and related subjects in an open and candid manner. Please be advised that we are not licensed marriage or sex therapists, and the content shared here is for entertainment and informational purposes only. If you are under 18 years of age or prefer not to engage with discussions about sex, relationships, or mature language, we strongly recommend that you refrain from listening further. However, if you are of legal age and comfortable with this content, we invite you to settle in and enjoy the show.
Hello, and welcome to another episode of Beyond Monogamy. I'm Adam.
And I'm Pris.
So go ahead and pull up a chair and have a seat because today we are talking about getting started in the lifestyle. Now, we were thinking about it, just for those people out there who are new to the lifestyle or considering the lifestyle or don't even know what it's about. This episode is for you, and that's really what we're going to jump into.
Yeah. First off, what is the lifestyle?
What is the lifestyle?
What is it exactly?
That is a really, really good question. It's different for different people, but just looking up what most people think the lifestyle is, the lifestyle, which is once known as wife swapping or swinging, is actually a sexual activity in which both singles and partners in a committed relationship sexually engage with others for recreational purposes. And it's a form of non-monogamy, ethical non-monogamy. I like to throw that out there.
Yeah.
And so it's just one offshoot of ethical non-monogamy. But that's what we refer to as the LS or the lifestyle. If you hear a bunch of people refer to that who are wearing pineapple shirts, then you have an idea of what exactly that is.
Look for the pineapples.
Absolutely. Look
I
for the
wonder
upside
when that
down pineapple.
happened.
We're going to have to research that.
Yeah, we are. And why?
Yeah, I'm feeling like geeking out. So
There
I guess
you
I'm going to have to do
go.
some research on
for
that
you,
one.
honey, right
Yeah,
there.
for sure. So, this episode really is to help those who are new, maybe don't have the resources that a lot of us do have in getting a jumping off point.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like asking, so what would ever convince anybody to join the lifestyle?
What would ever convince a person to try the lifestyle? That's the question of the day, right? I mean, it's different for everybody. For us, I don't think I ever would have really thrown that out there, even though deep down inside, I had always known about swinging and I had always had an interest in it. Don't think I ever would have had the gall to ask, hey, can we try this?
Yeah.
Luckily for me, it came from you.
I did. Yeah.
And so when you obviously did this in the relationship previous to me,
Right.
what were your reasonings as far as doing it?
So for me, it was just I wanted to try girls. I wanted that.
Okay.
So that
So you
was
wanted your girl experience.
Yeah, I don't think I ever asked him why he wanted to join. I mean, I just assumed it was because he wanted a threesome.
I think for guys, it's probably a little bit easier as far as reasoning because most guys just want to be able to sleep with other women. Like, and I
Which
could be
is
wrong on that.
definitely, I mean, I think so. No, I think you're right. But honestly, I was in it to sleep with women.
So I guess it's safe to say everybody's in it to sleep with women. No,
Yeah.
I'm just kidding. I know that there's a lot of women that aren't into other women.
Bisexual, we covered that.
But even then, there are straight women in the lifestyle.
There are. So you should join the lifestyle for good reasons.
Good reasons.
Don't do bad
not
reasons.
Wrong reasons. Now, the question is, what are those good reasons and what are those wrong reasons? Now, as far as what we had discussed, as far as your previous relationship, safe to say you guys were probably in it for the wrong reasons.
For sure.
Because you didn't like sleeping with him.
No.
And you were looking for other experiences with others because your sex life was dull at home.
Yes. Yeah.
Now, for us together, I would say we did it for the right reason.
Yeah.
But what exactly are those?
Why did you question that?
Well, because what exactly
are
the right reasons? When we first went into this, we had already had a magnificent sex life.
Yeah,
so we were having sex a minimum of 4 times a day, sometimes more.
Flex.
No, that is not what I'm doing.
But yes, So we did it for the good reasons. I think we just wanted to experiment.
It was
It was
more about the experiences.
you were very open to me being bisexual,
Yes.
and you had always like asked me, and you've never like really been with a girl, and you've never really like done this, and I'm like, nope, I really haven't. And so you and I really went into it as a team.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, I've always been real big into, if you have fantasies or if there's something that you want to explore, you should explore it at
Yes.
least once,
Yeah.
And so that's always been kind of my
So those are
my
good
take on it.
reasons.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a
Yeah.
good
Those are
reason.
those are some good
Another
reasons.
bad reason is a failing marriage.
Failing marriage, a threesome or an orgy is not going to repair your marriage. I hate to break it to you. I know that most people think, well, maybe if we just spice it up a little bit, or she gets to have her fun and I get to have mine, maybe that'll repair this relationship. It is not an answer. It is not a marriage counselor. It's meant for fun, it's meant for enjoyment, and it's meant for personal connections. But you cannot put a Band-Aid on a bullet hole.
No.
No.
No. So don't, if you're going in there for that, don't. If you are single male, I feel like they get really shunned.
Well, what's funny?
You and I were
Singles,
talking about
singles
that.
in the lifestyle, I find it very interesting, and I personally don't think that I would ever be a single in the lifestyle, just because I've seen what they go through
Mhm.
on both the male and female sides of it.
Now,
It's difficult.
if you were a single guy, what would you do to prepare yourself in the lifestyle?
Well, as a single guy, you really have to get your mindset right in the fact that you've got a lot of competition out there,
Mhm.
and you need to kind of put yourself above the rest as far as how are you going to stand out?
Yeah.
What is it about you that's going to attract a couple's
Yeah.
attention? Well, it just you got to get a feel for it. You got to read the room.
Oh man, you just read the room.
Read the room,
Yeah.
big time. And
And
so that's what a lot of these guys, they need to read the room, and the couple that they're interested in, either they're going to want them, and connect with them as a person,
mhm.
in which case you should connect with them as a person, or some couples are just going to use you as a toy essentially, and
Right.
they don't want to get to know you.
Right.
And so you have to be able to switch back and forth
And
between the two.
I feel for single women as well. If I was a single woman, I mean, even me, and you. So like you tell me I can play by myself anytime,
Right.
right? Like that's one of your things.
Yeah.
When I reach out to a couple, because that's what I prefer to play with by myself, when I reach out to a couple or even a single woman, I always make sure they understand that I always actually understand that I'm going in there for their pleasure.
Sure. Sure.
I'm not going in there. I'm giving you I'm being open and honest. And I'm like, hey, I want to be with you guys, but I'm really going in there with the knowledge that it is for their pleasure.
I gotcha.
So I feel like if you're single, you should understand that you're going in there for their pleasure.
Yeah, yeah, I suppose
I mean, I hate
that
to say
is,
it that way, but you are right.
it's unfortunate, but, in that situation, obviously, it's
Yeah.
not an equal three-way situation most of the time. It's for the couple's pleasure. So, yeah, you've got a point there.
So singles go
Uh,
in there open with an open mind.
yeah, you really have to be prepared for, one way or the other. You do have to stand out. What it is that will make you stand out will really be on you and
Mhm.
the people that you're trying to talk to. But you kind of get a feel for who you're trying to talk to, and you can figure out, oh, okay, is this going to work for them to get noticed? Is this not, some people prefer the direct and forward approach, but a lot of people feel that singles are pushier and
Yeah.
less respectful to boundaries and rules. Now, I'm not saying that's the case, but I know that it's been seen
It
quite a bit.
has. Yeah.
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 So it's really got to be difficult for singles in the lifestyle. Honestly, I wouldn't be one, because the whole point of the lifestyle is to have fun, and I feel like that would be a roller coaster ride
For you.
that I wouldn't be interested in.
Yeah.
It would definitely push up my insecurities, because I guarantee I'd be rejected
If I
oftentimes.
mm, if
Oh,
I would
often.
no way. If I was single, I would totally be in it.
Yeah?
I would, because as you always say, I'm very transactional.
Yeah.
I can fill people out pretty quickly. And if I reach out, I'm upfront with you and I'll tell you, I just really want to add you as a third. Like
Yeah,
I'm
you're
very
very
upfront.
upfront.
Mhm.
There's really no other,
But
but you're like that as a married woman. Understand.
yeah,
Now, would you be like
I
that
don't
as a
know.
single woman?
I think so.
You think so, but there's no real
I
way to
know.
tell.
There's not.
There's no real way to tell. You're just
Let's
kind of
find out.
we're speaking on theory
Yes,
here.
yeah.
But, if
So that's a good way for singles to like prepare, be open-minded.
yes, absolutely. Be
Now,
absolutely
how should
open-minded.
couples prepare
How should couples prepare for
to jump in there? Like,
the lifestyle?
yeah,
They really need to talk about everything ahead of time. I think the idea here is you want to overthink, even if overthinking is not your deal. Overthink it. Sit down there and make a list of different scenarios that could come up and discuss it with your spouse and go, okay, if this happens, what's going to happen?
yeah.
Because understand that if a person's not prepared for a certain situation and it arises, you're going to be kind of pushed to make a decision on how to react in the moment. And if you have to react in the moment, chances are it might not be the greatest reaction.
I would totally agree with you on that because you overthink a lot and
Oh,
I
yeah.
really don't.
Yeah.
I'm
Yeah.
very good with the flow. And so it helps that you overthink a lot because you point out different scenarios of what can happen.
Yeah.
If we say, because this year was really our year of exploring different avenues.
Yes.
This was our first time going to a club.
Yes.
It was very different, but you did have a lot of different scenarios. So we've had a lot of firsts this year.
We have had a lot of cherry popping moments,
Yeah.
but I think the big deal about it is that we've learned to
Communicate.
really communicate.
Mhm.
I mean, we've always been good at communicating, but I think we've learned a bit better our communication style. I think we've learned to really set realistic expectations before we
Right.
go into anything.
Yeah.
And I feel like you have really managed to open up your mind more
Yes, because
to
I was
situations.
very closed off,
Yeah.
stick up my butt, didn't wanna really talk to people, didn't really wanna be social because I didn't wanna feel rejected.
Right.
I
So it's almost like a way of protecting yourself.
Yeah, so wall goes up, whatnot. So I was for sure just not going in there with an open mind, but I am now. And like I said, we're still trying different things and we always talk about it, like different scenarios of, okay, if this happens, are you going to be okay with it? And because I'm the one who usually is a reactor. Yeah,
Yes.
like
Yeah,
I
that's
am
safe to say.
yeah.
Yeah.
So we do the communication and the open communication and over communication of it all is the best because you see every scenario.
Well, I
It's
think
weird.
as couples, they also need, I mean, it's keeping an open mind 100% because you don't know what these experiences are going to bring out. There are couples that will go in as maybe heterosexual couple,
Uh-huh.
and in the process, maybe the husband starts having a pull towards men, or
Oh, right,
maybe the
right,
woman has a pull towards women. You don't know what kind of kinks or what kind of preferences are underlying and have never been explored, and all of a sudden are unlocked
right,
because of this situation.
right.
And so you have to really kind of prepare for anything going into this
Yeah.
avenue.
Now, some people go in there for like sexual conquests
Right, right. And
versus
so
friendships.
that's the big thing that I would advise for people who are starting out, because this was a mistake I made going into it. You've got the sexual conquests versus the friendships in the lifestyle.
Mhm.
And realistically, when we're first going in with zero experiences, which is what I did, I was just wanting to get my experiences.
Right.
I wanted to have sex with another woman while my wife watched. Oh my God, that would be incredible.
Yeah.
I wanted to experience these different
And with
threesomes. And
anybody.
yeah, yeah, I
Like
was not picky.
you and
Yeah.
I had a lot of discussions about that because we started off playing together only. Like
Yes.
that was a rule that could not be broken
Right.
when we first started. So you and I didn't have the same likes in women, and it was hard because you wanted to just jump in there with
Well, because I wanted my experiences.
yeah,
You
yeah.
had already had your
Yes.
experiences. So it wasn't as big of a deal to you. You
Mhm.
were like, I can tell you about the last time I had the threesome. And I'm like,
Yeah.
well, I can't tell you
Yes.
because I've never had it before.
Yeah.
And so when somebody is that overexcited about getting their experiences, they don't really think of the people in the lifestyle as people. They think of them as sexual conquest. How is
Mhm.
this going to be? I want to get this notch in the belt. And as you start navigating the lifestyle, you start realizing a lot of people do not care for that. They don't care for the sexual conquest or being a notch in somebody's belt. They want to be friends. They want to have that connection and then have something maybe come up organically. And had I realized that years back, it probably would have been a different ordeal for me starting out.
Yeah. Yeah.
But once I made that
But for me
decision
too.
that it was
Yeah.
friendly,
Mhm.
things changed for the better.
So for me too. So I
Yeah.
am not as reactive anymore because I've opened my mind up to let's be friends. Let's see if we even like these people.
Right.
Because I was very closed off of I don't want to make friends.
I
They're
think,
only in it
yeah.
for the one thing, and it's like
Oh man,
I
that
thought
was
yeah.
where we really differed
Yes.
because you were like, "Oh, they just everything they say is fake and they just want to get into my pants and this is just a waste of time."
Yeah.
And for me, I was like, "Well, they don't want to sleep with me because they need to get to know me first, and I need to be their friend." So this is kind of a cyclical
Yeah.
contradiction,
Yeah.
you know?
Yeah.
So yeah, that's realistically, if I could advise anything, go in with the perception of not necessarily getting your experiences, but making friends in the lifestyle because realistically, you're networking
Yeah.
and you could make friends with one couple who introduce you to 7 other couples. And it just so happens that 2 of those 7 couples end up being your tribe
Yeah.
and end up being the people where you get to have all the experiences that you want to experience.
Yeah.
So you just have to really keep an open mind. Now, if I can take a moment here just to ask, what do you think are some of the experiences that people tend to look for going in? What kind of experiences are there? What were the experiences for us that we were trying to attain?
So for me, I wanted more woman. I wanted
Woman
more
interaction
women interaction, just being with a woman by myself
without a
without
male
a male
companion.
companion. Yeah. I never had that.
Mhm.
I feel like when there's a woman there, yeah, they're gonna play with me, but they're also gonna play with the guy, and it's like, I mean, I just want it for myself, you
Now,
know?
that's funny that you say that because you have the option for separate play with whoever you want,
Yes.
and you have women who are interested, and
Do I?
you come on, give me a break here. You have a list of women that have shown interest and have straight out said, "Yes, please." And you have the opportunity, you have a husband who's sitting back going, "Go ahead, go do your thing."
Yes.
But you don't
No.
because you would prefer I be there.
I get a little nervous.
What are you nervous about?
I don't know.
Explainable. Okay.
I'm not I don't know. I don't like to do things without you, but then I sometimes don't want you there because I want to experience the girl on girl. I don't know.
So you would rather I just have a seat and just be in a shadowy corner like
Yes.
Batman.
Yes.
Well, that sucks.
Ladies. Yeah, no, I try. I mean, that's an experience that we went in for me. That's what I went in
Yeah.
for.
So for me, I know that I had previous to us getting together
Uh-huh.
and us joining the lifestyle, I had always wanted to experience threesomes.
Yeah.
And
And
I
orgies.
and orgies. Yeah,
Mhm.
I was a big porn watcher,
Yeah.
and so you see all these different scenes, and it's like, oh my god, what is that like?
Yes.
2 women on me? Are you kidding me? Like
Yeah.
that is still, even to this day, a majestical thing that I
So
hardly get.
so oh my gosh.
I'm just saying.
So this is more for fantasies, right?
Correct. And so
Yeah.
realistically, it's making your fantasies come true.
But also
Um,
kink stuff.
well, so that is a whole new level. And I always said that I was very vanilla in the kink world.
Yeah. But then we
Our
started figuring out there was
there
names
there
for your
are
kinks.
there are names for we both have our own kinks.
I don't
Yeah.
think there's a name for what I like.
I don't even know what you like.
Well, remember we talked about it, that it was like a new thing. Like the lifestyle is so cool because there's married men. And for some reason, if I
Right.
know you're married and like you have the consent to play, it's kind of hot. It's kind of cheat. What do you call it?
It's consented cheating.
Yes.
Yes.
So hot.
Yeah. So I am turned on by the idea of consented cheating by you going out there
Right.
and cheating.
Yeah.
You're turned on by the consented cheating portion of it in that you were sleeping with married men.
Yes.
So there's two different
Yeah.
parts of it, but yeah, it's essentially the same kind of thing.
Yeah. So for us, I mean, if you're new to the lifestyle, if you have a certain kink that you're trying to explore,
Yeah.
you for sure can find it in
Oh
the
yeah,
lifestyle.
there really is, and this is going to sound very cliche, but there is a spot for everybody in the kink world. If you like to dress up as Bugs Bunny and walk around with hand puppets and watch people have sex, I guarantee you that there's a Facebook group for it.
And there's no judgment.
There is no judgment. And
I love that.
There's no kink shaming. Everybody is into what they're into. And that's the beautiful thing about the lifestyle, is that you have a place, but you just have to find your place.
Yes.
And realistically, that's where these experiences should line up. So you really have to figure out what kind of experiences you're looking for and what you want to do.
Especially like fantasies.
Oh yeah.
I just posted on one of our groups last night while you were snoring that I have some fantasies that I have not yet fulfilled.
So we're going to save that particularly for
But I mean, if you have a fantasy that you want to fulfill, lifestyle is a place to do that.
Oh
as
no,
well.
absolutely. And realistically, if you have fantasies, normally the lifestyle is the place where you get that figured out and ironed out. Yeah, no, we're actually going to save fantasies for a weekly drop. I'm thinking maybe a 30-minute weekly drop, to discuss that. So we may be exploring that more. So you guys keep listening when it comes to that. Now, one of the things that I would really ask to somebody who is new is, are you prepared for your spouse to either love it or hate it way more than you? Now, if you are going in with your spouse and you guys have the full swap situation, and maybe you did not enjoy it nearly as much than your spouse, and it's not your thing, but you realize that your spouse loves it and wants it to be your thing. How do you handle that?
Ooh, man, that's a hard one.
That is a hard.
Because for me, I don't like to tell, if you were to come up to me and be like, I really like it and I didn't. I think we even might have had a time like that where you really enjoyed it and I was not feeling it.
Well, I mean, even with Polly, we had that discussion because I enjoyed Polly more than you did. And you were afraid that that was going to be the end of us.
Yes.
Because of that.
Yes. So I feel like, man, it's a hard conversation. If you're someone like me that's very submissive to your husband and you don't like to tell your husband no, or even if you're the man and you don't like to tell your wife no, it's hard because you're going to feel a lot of feelings. Am I not good enough? Am I not good enough that you need to have this?
Right.
I'm not doing something right. So you're going to probably feel a lot of self-doubt, but you really do have to have that conversation because it does happen. You and I, there was times where you and I were like, ooh.
Yeah. Well, there were, believe it or not, so there was a lot of times where you liked it less than I did. Obviously, I enjoyed it more. And you would question that. But we've had times where I sat back and went, this is not fun for me. I don't want to do this.
Yeah.
And you were like, no, 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 we need to give it more chances.
Yes. Because I was so reactive.
Right.
And you were very
And
traumatized.
that's what made
from
it
that.
not fun.
Yes.
Was that we were on 2 different wavelengths, and that's where I was very honest and like, you know what? If we're not having fun with this, then there's no point.
Yes.
So the real big situation as far as this question is concerned is if you are on 2 different wavelengths, what's more important to you? Sex with others or your relationship?
Yeah.
And realistically, you need to go into this lifestyle with the notion that you need to focus on your relationship even more so than before.
Yes.
And if your spouse is maybe not as excited about swapping as you are, maybe you need to take a step back. Maybe the two of you need to have more discussions before you jump in some more.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe this is something that you had the experience and it won't be for another couple of years before she or he are ready to get back into it.
Yeah. For newbies, also, I have a question. How do you react when you go into, say, a meet and greet and you're new to this and you decided you met a couple and now you're going to go out for dinner and you're there and you're talking and y'all are talking about your dynamics and whatnot. How do you get out of that? How do you break into the conversation
Of
of
sex.
sex?
So we've been in that situation before where we have set up a dinner with a couple. Obviously, we met them through one of the lifestyle facets. So we know that they're a part of the lifestyle. We all go out, we all get to know each other. It's a lot of fun. And everybody seems to be gun shy on bringing up the topic of sex.
Yes.
We're all there for the same reason,
Yes.
but nobody's bringing it up.
Yeah.
So nobody wants to be that first person to go, okay, so let's start talking about
And
it.
especially if you're new.
Yes.
Because you're probably going out with somebody who isn't new.
Right.
Right? So
Right.
you have to find that breaking point. Like one of y'all has to say something. Like you have to.
And it can be anxiety laden because you
Mhm.
don't know how it's going to go, but chances are if you just reassure yourself and say, "Okay, we're all here for the same reason." And I've said that before
Yeah.
even getting into it. I'll be like, "You know what? I'm just going to throw this out here. We are all here for the same reason, obviously. So I'm just going to come out and say it.
Yeah. Yes. You
We
say
we
you
are
have said
interested,
that.
or
Yeah.
I am interested,
Yes.
or I'll even, after the end of the date and we've just had really great conversation, I'll tend to go out there and go, so I don't know how you guys feel, but I feel like this was really great. I
Yes.
love this fit. And I really think that maybe we should consider taking it to the next conversation, which would be sexually,
Yeah.
And I never had it backfire.
No.
I've never had that be a bad
No.
situation. Most of the time when I've said stuff like that, people have gone, "Oh, okay," and they feel easier to talk about it
Right.
after that.
Yeah. Yeah.
But I think breaking away from the anxiety of, "Oh, I can't say that,"
Mhm.
and just being
Because some
direct.
people are really shy.
Some people are very, very
Very
shy.
shy, but the experienced ones, we should really try to help out the new one.
And so I think that there needs to be more mentoring amongst
Yes.
amongst people who are more experienced.
Yes.
I remember when we became poly, going into Facebook groups for polyamory and asking questions because people would use certain words that I didn't understand and they would ask certain questions that I didn't get. And this was a whole new world for me.
Mhm.
Obviously, nobody's born with the knowledge. And I would ask questions and I would get such horrible
Yeah.
responses back where it's like, that's what Google's for. Okay, thanks, smartass.
Yeah.
I understand
I
that you don't
remember
want to
that.
type stuff like out,
I
but
remember that.
it does all it takes is one person to water the plant in order for the plant to grow.
Yes.
And realistically, if you have expert knowledge, if you have the experience, you want to protect others from falling down the wrong way, the wrong
Yes.
direction. Because if you let people just figure it out on their own and then they do find a mentor who's actually really, really horrible and taking advantage of them, then they're going to have a bad experience.
Yes.
And it may not only ruin them, but they may continue on the tradition of
I
ruining
feel
others.
I feel like if you're going into the lifestyle, do your homework.
Do your homework.
Do your homework.
Yeah.
You
Do
know,
your research.
do your research. You know, you're going to have moments because you're new. You're going to have moments of, like Adam had mentioned, if your spouse loves it or if you don't. Now, there's also the uncomfortable feeling.
The
Once,
uncomfortable feeling.
say
Yeah.
you've found the couple
Yes.
and this is your first time you're about to swap because you decided you're going to do full swap.
Yes.
You're in the same room. There's an uncomfortable feeling.
There is.
Because this is new.
So it's not just this weird feeling in the pit of your stomach that there's no going back from this, especially if it's your first time and you see your spouse getting touchy-feely with somebody and clothes are starting to come off. And it's like, at some point, there's going to be some sort of penetration happening, and there is no going back from that. That's an image that will never be erased from your mind.
Yes.
And how will you take it? Now, I've noticed that uncomfortable feeling is normal. That is a normal feeling that almost everybody gets. Not just the first time, but actually, I still get it.
Yeah, you do.
And it's been 13 years.
Yeah.
And it's not a bad feeling. I always said it's an uncomfortable feeling, but a good uncomfortable feeling.
Yeah, you've mentioned that a few times that you kind of like it. Like it's like
it's
the gut.
Yeah. So I'll give you an example. There was once we had a couple over to hang out with us. We ate a little bit of dinner. We sat on the couch and watched a movie.
Yes.
And I was on a single chair. You were next to him on the couch.
Yeah.
And then his spouse was next to him as well on the other side. And honestly, I was shaking.
Yeah.
I was shaking the entire time because I kept hearing some movement. I kept hearing some rubbing and then I started hearing kissing.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, and I looked over and y'all were making out and his hands were all over you.
Mm-hmm.
And I was shaking the entire time. And it wasn't a bad shaking. I was very turned on, but it was a very uncomfortable, oh, here it comes kind of thing.
Yeah.
And that was just a couple years ago.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
So for newbies, that's going to happen.
That will happen.
Talk about it.
You can either get used to that uncomfortable feeling and make it great.
Yeah.
Or it's going to be a bad, uncomfortable feeling. And this probably is not for you.
Yes.
You know,
I mean, I get it when you play with somebody without me there. I get that feeling like, ugh. But I'm learning to be like, oh, okay, this is not bad.
So it's called compersion. Compersion is when you're happy for your spouse in what they're enjoying.
Okay.
So that was something I learned when we were poly was a lot of these partners have compersion for their partners.
Okay.
You don't have jealousy. Well, normally jealousy issues are normal.
Mm-hmm.
So you know that your spouse or your partner is getting excited about somebody else.
Yeah.
And realistically, the sour grapes in you is like, ugh, I don't want them to be excited about this other person. I want them to be excited about me. But you kind of go past that and you're like, you know what? They've met somebody that's fulfilling this for them.
Yeah.
I'm happy for them.
Yeah.
That is compersion.
Okay. I don't have it all the time.
You rarely have it. Yeah. As a matter of fact, I don't think you've been happy for me in quite some time. I think for the most part, it's sour grapes.
Yes.
All the time. Yeah. How about that? That's okay. That's okay because I have compersion for you, and I have enough for you to be.
Thank you.
To be enough for both of us.
I love that.
Yeah, and I'll have compersion for me too. I'll be like, well, I get to enjoy these.
I'm sure others will have compersion for you.
Yeah. Maybe I can get a fan following that can just be compersion for Adam.
Yeah.
It's nice. So compersion, ladies and gentlemen, it is a thing. Try and support your spouse. You know, it's that same mentality of thinking where if your partner makes more money than you, it's not something that you should get jealous about. It's something you should be happy about because the two of y'all are a unit and you should be happy and supportive of your spouse. Well, it's the same thing sexually.
Okay.
If you're supportive of them 100%, then you're going to support them as far as what their fantasies are and what their sexual desires and wants are and fulfilling that. And you should be happy, even if it doesn't mean that you get what you get.
Okay.
Yeah. Stepping off of my
Compersion.
soapbox.
There you
My
go.
compersion soapbox there.
All right, honey. So let's see. How does a new person find a community? Where do I go?
That's there's such a number of different ways to link up. Now, when we first started,
Mm-hmm.
I took my cues from you, and you had experience with
Websites, right? Yeah.
websites. So adultfriendfinder.com and swinglifestyle.com. They were both the prominent ones at that time, because we're
Mm-hmm.
talking 13 years ago. Those were the prominent websites. Those were really the happening ones. And so we started up a free profile page there, and we kind of
That's
started
right.
getting
Right.
messaged by people. And then from there, we got invited to a house party, and that's where we were able to make some connections and Facebook friends.
Mm-hmm.
And then they invited us into Facebook groups. And that's really how it was a networking thing. We went from one to another
Yeah.
and got
And a lot
immersed.
of these Facebook groups now have chats going on.
Yes.
So
So they
back in the day, we
utilize
used to use
Discord
Kick.
and Telegram and Kick. Kick is still
Okay.
being used.
Yeah, Telegram, WhatsApp.
Right. Right.
There's a lot of different other units within the groups that you can still continue to chit chat
Yeah.
and grow from there. So
Yeah, and we've pretty much done all the different ways there are to do it. So I know I wrote a few of them down. There's websites like adultfriendfinder.com,
mhm.
Swing Lifestyle, and I think the big one right now is SDC. We have not tried SDC, but to be honest with you, I'm kind of sour on having to pay for every single way of meeting people in the lifestyle.
Yeah.
And which is definitely why Facebook groups are my thing,
Yes.
because I am cheap. I'm sorry, ladies, but if you want me to spend on you, it ain't happening, because this guy is cheap.
Yeah.
And I don't like paying to have to meet other people.
Yeah.
It's kind of ridiculous. So I haven't tried it yet. Maybe we will. Who knows? There is the kink world, where if you're into kink,
Mhm.
FetLife, I believe, is the name of the website that you can actually start up a profile and meet people through.
For like kink specific
For
stuff,
kink
like dominatrix or
correct.
stuff like that.
I mean, they have areas for everybody, people who like wax, people who like fire play.
Oh, okay.
That is your spot. That's
awesome.
from what I'm told. I want to say that because we're not very much in the kink community, I want to say we started up a FetLife profile, but
Mhm.
it didn't last past a day,
Okay.
just because we are pretty vanilla in the kink life.
Yeah. Yeah. There's also apps.
There are apps. Yeah, we did some apps, especially during.
Poly, right? We did one.
Well, so those were more dating apps, but
Okay.
like sex specific apps,
Mhm.
we did scope out when the pandemic hit. So we tried 3Fun, and we tried Field. And I know a big one too is Ashley Madison, although I personally wouldn't touch anything with Ashley Madison after that big data breach,
Yeah.
just because, if you're looking to keep discretion, they've already had a major, major breach.
Yeah.
But yeah, those are sex specific apps that you can create a profile and you can write specifically what you're looking for.
Okay.
Now, when we were poly, we did take part in some dating apps. I think one of
Do
the
you know someone just told me that their geez, maybe it's Tinder now has an area for ethical non-monogamy.
really.
Like you can push this button and
Well, it's about time.
yeah, because
Because
we were on there.
Tinder was the big one back then, and we got into Bumble because Bumble seemed to be a good one.
I found a lot of women on Bumble.
I really liked OkCupid.
Yeah.
OkCupid was great for ethical non-monogamy dating, because you can put, if you're a couple,
Mhm.
you can have a single profile attached to a couple profile, and you can have the options to have it sexual or to have it as a dating
Is
thing.
POF still around?
Plenty of Fish
Yeah,
is
that was booty call. Remember that?
that was funny. They always said that Plenty of Fish was more of a booty call type of dating app.
Mhm.
If that's the case, I was not good at it, because I did not get any booty from
From
Plenty of Fish. Now, I don't know if you remember this, the old days when we first started in this, the Craigslist casual encounters.
Yes.
was
I
a
think
thing.
that's a thing still.
No, they had to get rid of their casual encounters after a certain law passed because they also had to get rid of Backpage.
Oh,
Remember
that's right.
Backpage?
Well, I didn't
Because
know
there was a
about
lot of
that, but
prostitution
yes.
in Backpage. So when they
Oh
got
my
rid of
gosh,
that,
I knew so many people that told me about Backpage when I was a bartender,
yeah.
and
Well,
they
you were a
would
bartender at a strip club, so
yeah. Well,
yeah.
no, the other place.
Oh,
And
gotcha.
they would tell me about Backpage, and they were like, "Yeah, I just dropped off a girl from," and I was like, "What is that?" And I remember asking you, and you were like,
Right.
"Yeah, it's like
It's
prostitution."
yeah.
I was
I
like,
mean, it's
"Oh,
essentially it's the back page, which
gotcha."
is like a
Yeah.
classified page where you can, but I remember back in the day when, you'd get hot and heavy and we would be like, hey, maybe we could
Yeah.
have somebody come and visit us.
Yeah.
Just a quick wham bam, thank you, ma'am kind of situation. And you could go to Craigslist, casual encounters, and whatever it is you're looking for, couple for male or couple for female or whatever.
Yeah.
And you put your ad out there.
Yeah.
And then you just start fielding through it and
That is
see what you
so
can find.
dangerous.
It is, looking back on it, it is
Like,
quite
that is
dangerous.
dangerous.
And I always had this scary notion in the back of my head that, if somebody says, hey, yeah, go ahead and you guys come to me, and then, you can walk into their house, and as soon as you do, 3 guys with baseball bats knock you out, tie you up,
Yeah.
and take you.
Okay,
Uh,
let's not delve into that dark little circle because
that's called
that
overthinking
that is.
by
So,
Adam. Thank
you
you.
can also attend meet and greets.
You can attend meet and
Um,
greets. You got to be normally a part of a group for that.
yes.
But even word of mouth, some people who are in groups tend to tell their friends, hey, look, if you're interested, this is the place to go.
Yeah.
And a lot of times you can have a better connection with somebody in person than you
Mhm.
can online.
Right.
I think you can attest to that because you
I
are
have a
better in person.
yes, I am way better in person. We have a lot of group chats going on with different friends, and I'm not a chatter.
No, when it comes to online messages, you've never really been much for
No,
taking part in that. But in person, you are incredible.
I am. I can talk your ear off.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah. So
about
that
everything.
definitely works out.
Yes.
Now, I can tell you that one avenue of a place where you can kind of expand your network in the lifestyle is sex clubs.
Mm,
I actually had a friend of
mhm.
mine, I've had a few friends of mine let me know that they got their start by just getting curious and going into a sex club.
That's right.
And they've met people there and, exchange numbers or exchange social medias,
Yeah.
and that kind of opened them into a whole new world. So that really, I mean, if you want to just see what it's all about, it is expensive. I'm not going to lie. Sex clubs are not cheap.
No.
They're
We live
go-
an hour away, and for us, it's the room and
it's
the
it's a
club.
it's
It's a
about as much of a cost as a hotel room,
yeah.
maybe slightly less, but is it worth it? Absolutely.
Yeah.
I'm gonna be very honest with you. It is absolutely worth it. The vibe in these places are great. It's
Mhm.
very accepting.
Mhm.
Everybody is very accepting of everybody that's in there. Everybody's respectful. You normally have a really good staff who's looking out for your safety,
Yes.
which is great.
Mhm.
And the basic layout for most sex clubs is this: you walk in, you sign a waiver, you pay this large amount to get in. But once you're in, you can find a place to sit. Most of these places, at least here in Texas, are BYOB. So you can bring in your own alcohol and you buy their setups and you can drink and basically just meet people around you. You introduce yourselves to them. There's a dance floor that you can dance on normally. They normally have food there in case you get hungry,
Yeah.
but they don't normally sell alcohol. It's been my experience. Normally, you have
Correct.
to bring your own alcohol.
Right, right. So you
Um,
can bring ice chests to
yeah,
these places.
they normally have a good DJ.
There's areas where there are closed rooms.
Yeah, so the playrooms are do vary, but they normally have a wing of areas that are closed off.
Yeah.
Maybe by a drape
Mhm,
of some
mhm, and
sort.
you can either have it open or closed.
Yeah, you can have it opened or
There's
closed.
beds usually in the center or a play
A
area
play
in the
area
center for
that you can be
viewing.
viewed, and you can even invite people to join.
Mhm.
And then there's some normally other rooms where you can close the door, but people can watch. And some places even have like bondage rooms
Yes.
where you can explore different kinks and, bondage and things like that. And a lot of these places have porn on or porn rooms where you can watch porn and start to kind of get the mood set and play.
Mm-hmm.
So a lot of these places are set up like that. And so when you think about it, you're basically paying hotel prices for hotel fun
Yeah. There's
because
lockers, there's
yeah,
lubes, there's
there's
towels,
really
there's
everything you need.
everything you
The
need.
people there are there to take care of
Mhm.
you. And you get to network and you get to play and it's just a lot of fun.
Yeah.
So I went into it. The club experience this past year was our first experience, and I really went in kind of pessimistic.
Mhm.
I
Mhm.
wasn't looking forward to it. I'm not
Yeah.
a club guy. I'm more of a low key guy,
Yeah.
and clubs just did not seem to fit
No.
the bill.
We like
But we did. It was an instant addiction because of how sweet and inviting everybody is,
yeah.
and because we get to really explore our kinks of exhibitionism and voyeurism. So we get to watch people have sex, and we get to have people watch
Yeah.
us have
So if you're
sex.
new to the lifestyle, that's a great place to start.
It can be a little overwhelming sometimes, especially if you have anxiety about big crowds.
Yeah.
But if you can just get past that and live in the moment, I guarantee you, you will not be disappointed.
Yeah.
It
Yeah.
really is a very, very major vibe. Probably one of my favorite things to do now.
Yeah.
House parties are fun too, but if you're new, it might be difficult for you to get into the house party scene. We've been doing this for 13 years and we've been invited to a total of 4 house parties. And
Yeah.
realistically, 2 of them were this year. The other 2 were literally over 10 years ago.
Yeah.
It is difficult to get invited to house parties. I just hate to say it, unless you have friends
Friends.
who throw parties on average often,
Yeah.
or you have, you're in that circle. Yeah, you're going to get invited to a
Yeah.
lot of house
Yeah.
parties. But I'm just going to throw this out there to our friends. If you're looking for people to get things started sexually at a house party, and you just want that sexual vibe, or you want people who will just get down to it, that's us.
That is us.
That's us.
We do
And
that.
and we are charming personalities. We'll have fun, but we'll also get the night going.
Yes.
So if you're looking for somebody to spice up your house party, I'm going to throw that
Yeah.
advertisement
No,
out there. We are great people to add.
yeah. Yeah.
So you should really be hitting us up, but also hit us up like a couple weeks in advance because we do have kids, and it is planning.
So we want to also touch base on do's and don'ts for those new people. So
Yeah, when it comes to meeting, so the scenario here is really you're new in the lifestyle and you just set up a meeting with another
make a
couple.
good first impression.
First impressions are everything.
Yes.
And if your first impression goes wrong, chances are a second meet will not
Yes.
happen.
So arrive early.
Arrive early. So do arrive early on time, or early or on time.
Yes.
Try not to be late. If you're going to be late,
Shoot 'em a
communicate
message.
that.
Communicate it.
that.
Yes.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Do not forget to communicate with the other couple, confirming the meeting is still on and that you're on the way.
Yeah.
Time and time again, we've been sitting there waiting for somebody to arrive and hadn't heard from anybody. And all of a sudden, it's 10 minutes past, and we're going, are they showing up?
Yeah.
And then 20 minutes past, we're about to eat some meals, and they walk in and go, hey, sorry, guys, I ran into some traffic. Well, it's nothing a quick text
Mm-hmm.
couldn't. I mean, it takes seconds. Just
My
send up.
time is valuable.
Nobody likes to feel like they're being ignored or ghosted. So that's a big one.
Hygiene.
Hygiene. Do make sure that your hygiene is on point.
Do not come from work, working outside in construction, and then come and meet for dinner
Yeah,
because
you want to be on your best
like look
cleanliness there.
good.
Yeah, you want
Smell
to
good.
shower, you want to smell good, you want to brush your teeth. Dental hygiene is big. Deodorant, the whole nine. Be dressed to, not necessarily formal, but be dressed to impress.
You know, there's 3,000 germs in your mouth if you don't brush your teeth.
Oh man, that you went there with that.
Sorry, I just
Yeah,
had to say that.
Thank you so much for that.
Right.
So that's a big one. Do not assume that everyone is a hugger
Or a kisser.
or a kisser, because that's a big one that I had to explore on my own. I am a hugger. I
Mhm.
like to hug people, and vanilla friends, it's never been an issue.
Mm-mm.
But when I got into the lifestyle, I found out that not everybody likes to be touched in that
Mhm.
manner, especially if they're first meeting you. And so you really have to kind of consent and be like, hey, I'm a hugger. Is it okay?
Yes.
You
Yeah.
know, that sort of thing. If you like to kiss people on the cheeks, sometimes it's automatic. People do it, but it's kind of hard to ask for consent on that. Hey,
Yeah.
I'm a hugger and I
Yeah.
like to kiss you on the cheek. Nah, sometimes you just got to go with it, but it doesn't hurt to over communicate
Yeah.
that.
Acknowledge both parties.
Oh,
Husband
man.
and wife. Acknowledge both parties. You saying hi to the husband and the
Yeah.
wife is next. Please acknowledge the
Do
wife.
show
And
respect and acknowledgement
because respect for us, respect and acknowledgement
is everything.
is everything.
It's gold.
This is my king right here. You have to say hi to him. And
I will say I'm not bothered by it.
no.
I know how big you are on respect, and I will say that there's been once or twice that I have felt slighted and disrespected, but not to the point to where I've gone, yeah, I don't think you should talk to him. But what they don't realize is that the moment they see that you see that, excuse me, the moment you see that, you've lost interest.
I have.
And if somebody disrespects my wife, even if she's not around to see it, it's a complete turnoff. Show that respect, show that acknowledgement, because it really is everything.
Yeah. Also, don't be pushy.
Don't
be
not
pushy.
Be pushy.
Don't discuss religion. Don't discuss politics.
Right.
Open. Leave it open. Leave that communication just open and talk about the food you're about to eat.
Right. Let's not discuss divisive scenarios. Let's not talk about extreme topics. Nobody wants to hear about your politics. And if we do want to hear about your politics, there's a different forum for it. We're all here to enjoy ourselves. And because there are so many different personalities and so many different backgrounds, maybe just stay away from the discussion of politics or religion.
Keep it positive and
Yes.
happy and talk about
Absolutely.
really fun things. And there's always something to talk about.
Yeah.
Like there's a lot of good things that you can talk about and have a good conversation.
Yes.
Doesn't have to be negative stuff.
Yeah. Well, you're popping all over the list here. Let me tell you.
I'm sorry.
But you do want to show an interest in the people you are meeting as people and not just sexual beings. I understand that we're all in this for sex. I get it. But the moment you lead in with, hey, you have great tits, or the moment you realize that every conversation is sexual based, it kind of is a turnoff for most people.
Yeah.
There's more to me than a penis.
Is there?
I don't know anymore after you questioned it. But yeah, I am a very deep and multi-sided person.
Okay.
I have multiple sides of me.
Do you?
I do. I do. Look at this. This is
There
one
you
side.
go.
Look at this other. This is
I mean,
my
I
left
get
side.
you. I am more than a pair of boobs.
Are you?
Yes. So,
Yeah.
have the conversation with my face and not my cleavage.
Well, sometimes your cleavage is making better faces than your face.
That is so true.
Because your face is making a face like
this at every table. Just
That's
be
right.
like, hey, here you go. Talk to these guys.
My eyes are down here. Yeah, realistically though, these are people that you are trying to link up with. Let's treat them as such. I think that's a big one. As mentioned previously, do not get pushy sexually. And, don't have expectations of play just because you're meeting up with people. That doesn't mean that you're going to play with them. Some people don't ever play on the first date. Some people don't play till after the third date. So just don't expect anything.
Yes, that is for sure. When you're going to meet somebody, don't expect them to pay.
That's a big one. I am cheap.
When we go out with a couple, we usually split the bills.
We'll split the bill. I will tell you that if I pay for the entire meal, I really like you.
Yes.
And it is way more than a sexual attraction, but most likely it is.
And
I really like you.
And we do have friends that if we go visit them, they pay. If they come visit us, we pay.
Yeah.
And
goes
back and forth. Like, do the back and forth thing.
Yeah.
It's okay. There's people that don't have a lot of money, and be mindful of that. So
right. Don't, if you're going to ask somebody out, if you're going to say, hey, why don't you guys meet me for dinner? And that person says, well, money's a little tight right now. If you still want to meet up with them, offer to pay. And if you don't, then say, okay, well, let me know when money's not tight and we can schedule something then,
Yeah, or
But
cheaper, or
don't try and bring somebody into the fold and then go, hey, you're gonna have to pay for me. Now, this also is for singles out there. If a couple has reached out to you and said, hey, why don't you meet us for dinner? Do not expect them to pay for you. If you agree for it. Now, they may. Normally, it's in my policy that if we ask for a single lady to meet us for
or a
dinner,
man. Yeah.
I don't know
Yeah.
why I'm going to be weird about this, but I'm not paying for a man. Sorry, guys. But if you're a single man that's going to meet with us, I'm not going to pay for you.
Oh my God.
Sorry, bruh.
I'll pay for you. Don't worry.
Sorry, bruh. That's just not going to happen.
I'll pay for
Okay.
you.
Oh my gosh. I don't know about that. Anyways, singles, do not expect to have anybody pay for you because, you just never know. Always take care of yourself. Be like Beyonce, be an independent woman.
There you go. I like that.
Yeah.
Yes. Do not expect the vibe to be immediate.
Yes. Now, this is a big one.
I feel like that hits hard for us.
That one does because for me,
everybody likes my vibe because I'm
wasn't-
such a very happy person.
That doesn't even sound like me. I
and
don't
then
know what
comes
impression.
the wife.
You mean Darth?
Yes.
Darth Vader? Yeah. No. So we are different people, obviously.
Yes.
We handle things differently, and you are less trusting than I am.
Yeah.
I wear my heart on my sleeve. I'm not gonna lie. It's the way it always has been.
And I put a sweater over that sleeve.
Yeah, you have like a lot of layers underneath that cold heart of yours.
I guess you can say I don't it's not that I don't trust anybody. I just am aware of my surroundings and who I invite into our little bubble.
That's fair.
And
That's fair.
like
You're very protective of us. I get that.
I have been a little bit open-minded now. This past year,
Yeah.
I'm more apt to meeting people and understanding different aspects and layers of these people.
Well, so I think it's fair to say that we have been able to open up your mind by showing you that you can't judge people off of the first time.
Yes. Yeah.
We have met people for the first time, and maybe it's been a bad impression, and it could be for any number of reasons, but oftentimes you just don't get the full person the first time around.
Yes.
And with more conversation and more opportunity, they're going to be the same, in which case that there's no vibe, or they're going to loosen up a little bit and you're going to be able to get to know them better. And in that situation, you really get to kind of grow with them as far as friendship is concerned.
Yes.
You really get to know them. There are people who are really good friends of ours who you initially did not want to continue talking to.
Yes.
And they're now really, really tight with us.
Yeah.
So you just never know. You just never know who it is you're talking to. Give them a chance. I know it sounds like a lot, but if you're really looking for friendship, if you're really looking to make this community yours, give them an opportunity.
Give them an opportunity. Also, communicate your intentions. So just communicate what you want, what you're looking for, and be open and honest with them.
Absolutely. People are on different wavelengths. Is your intention strictly sexual?
Yeah.
Or are you looking for a friend? Are you looking for just a friend with no sexual benefits? Or are you looking for a friend with benefits?
Yeah. Because there's people that don't like to communicate all the time. That they just want to meet you at a meet and greet. And if the vibe is there, they're going to take you back to wherever their house or whatever.
Right.
But if the vibe is not there,
I don't, I try to communicate our intentions with people ahead of time.
Yeah.
Just in the fact that, I offer friendship for everybody. But if I'm interested in them, I will drop that at some point and be like, hey, I'm just throwing this out there. We're interested sexually. So if that ever comes up, great, But if that never comes up, at least they know what our intentions are in that. So, it's always good to throw that out there. But time and time again, we have people that will meet with us and they'll express friendship, but they never actually express their intent as far as what they want from us, if at all, sexually.
Yes.
And that normally will get you a one-way ticket to the friend zone.
Yes.
Yeah. So
done that a few times.
That's right. So if you are interested, express that interest. It's such a big thing.
Now, you met these people, and you didn't like something. Be an adult and communicate that. Do not ghost them.
Oh man,
ghosting is the worst. We've had people, like Adam mentioned, that we just didn't vibe with, and I will be the one. He doesn't like to always tell the person that, and I don't mind being the person to tell a couple or a single person that our vibe just wasn't there, and we're just not going to play, but good luck. You don't have to ghost them. You're going to see them. Our community is big. Everybody knows everybody.
Yeah.
So it's big, but we all keep it very tight. So if you ghosted somebody,
somebody's going to find out. You're going to get labeled, unfortunately. Once you're labeled, it is what it is. Kind of carries on.
It does.
Just like it does in the vanilla world, once you're like, that's it. But, ghosting does a lot of trauma to people, believe it or not, because you're not just leaving easily. What you're doing is you're leaving people who are already feeling heavy duty insecurities in a very insecure lifestyle. You're making them feel like they did something wrong, or maybe they're less than.
Yeah.
Those are hard feelings to carry.
Yeah.
And it can do some major damage.
So I'm not going to lie to you. We have all done the ghosting thing for whatever reason. But
I get it.
Grow up. I do too.
I get it. Like, I understand. I'm a major people pleaser.
Yeah.
And so I don't want to make anybody feel bad.
Yeah.
And to have that uncomfortable conversation with somebody and be like, hey, look, I just don't feel like this is going to work out.
Yes.
Or maybe this vibe is off.
You're not going to get along with everybody.
No, you are not everybody's cup of tea.
Yeah. It's because you liked one person in the couple. You didn't like the other person in the couple. Most likely, if you tell them that, you're probably not going to play with them again, or play with them, period. But at least you've laid it out. Hey, right. I liked you, but I didn't really care for your wife's vibe, or we've had that. Or I like your wife, but I don't really care for your vibe. I mean, we've never had that.
We've had that. I don't think it's ever been said before, but we've had that.
But you know what I mean? Like, be open. Don't ghost them.
Yeah, don't ghost them. Have some respect. I think it's important to treat everybody with respect, lifestyle or not. Have some respect for your fellow persons.
Yeah.
That's the big thing. So we have really done our best to hit up on what you need to know if you're interested in the lifestyle, if you're interested in starting out. I hope that we were able to answer some questions. If you have more questions, you can reach us on our email at Beyond Monogamy for you. That's Beyond Monogamy 4 letter U at gmail.com. Feel free to email us or send us a message on Facebook or any of our platforms. If you have any questions that you want read out on the air, or just an opinion that you'd interested in voicing. At this point, I would really like to take a moment and just say thank you once again to our community, for those of you who are supporting us, for all of you who are helping us grow. We're doing what we love. This is what we love. And if any of you were to come up to us and have a conversation with us, this is exactly how it would go.
Yes.
This is what we love doing. And we love bringing you into our home and having you be a part of our conversations and having you be a part of our friends circle. So just a heartfelt thank you on behalf of the both of us. Right before we sign off, please continue to follow us. We're going to have a lot more content coming up, a lot of big changes, and a lot of big changes for 2025. So if you want in on the ground floor, you're in the right place.
Yes.
With that being said, thank you so much for joining us for another week of Beyond Monogamy. I'm Adam.
And I'm Pris.
We'll see you next week.
Bye.